What does it mean to be a car enthusiast? To someone who isn't one, it simply means you love cars. But there's more. It means it's pretty much all you think about on a given day. It's what covers your Instagram feed, your YouTube suggestions. It means putting your personal touch on your car and helping your friends do the same. And me 4 years ago would have told you it means doing what you can with what you have. You don't have to have the coolest, craziest build, have spent the most money on your car. And I still think that's true. And we're actually doing just that again, except this time, what we have is experience. We have experience that all car enthusiasts have or are working towards having. Because being a car enthusiast means growing, learning new skills, and learning from your mistakes. And over the years, I have made a lot of mistakes. Those mistakes have helped me learn who I am, what I like, and what I really want. And it's time to put all those things I have learned to use. Like I said, being a car enthusiast means doing what you can with what you have. And what we have for our next build is the ability to build a car that 4 years ago we literally couldn't have imagined building. I have my best friend, and we have the ambition to continue to do everything physically possible ourselves and stay true to being DIY guys. We also have a car that has been extremely neglected. So with that, we'll just get right into it. Our next build is Jasmine's final phase.
That's an upgrade. Gonna fire up a little Jasmine Rice Bowl sticker when he comes up.
Boys, this car has been through absolutely everything. It has been through like wish part installs, us trying so hard to blow it up that we bent a rod, we never actually sent it into the atmosphere. It has been through our first wide body install, our first ever engine swap. This was the absolute best $800 that I have ever spent in my life. And after everything it's been through and after everything the channel has been through, I feel like it's earned a final phase, a final build. That same $800 Wish Civic that we once bought, dude, literally started all of this. But when I say like it earned one more build, I mean like the shell of this car has earned one more build. I know you guys are probably looking at it being like, oh, it's a pretty decently weirdly built car. Like, yeah, what can you do to a decently built weird car?
You can make it less weird.
We're basically talking about just the shell, like the body of the car is up for its final phase. Like this thing has been around the block, literally across the country. I know a lot of people probably looked at it and they're like, dude, it's a built car, but it's it's gonna get a full teardown to the point where it's legit nothing, and then we're gonna build it again. And it's gonna be the final phase, it's gonna be the absolute best phase. And the coolest thing is, like earlier I was saying, that we've grown and learned a lot and have a lot of experience. And one thing that we've actually grown a lot and learned a lot about is money and spending money specifically on cars and car parts and modifying them. And I don't want to tell you guys I can do anything cheaply on this, because this is going to be like what the car deserves. Its final third phase and final phase where the car can live that way forever and sit beside the BRZ and just have me feel like super good about it. But honestly, we've grown to like appreciate quality, simple mods over like 1 million sick Wish mods inside of a car. And I think that we're actually gonna be able to do this final build relatively close to the final eBay, like eBay-ish Jasmine 2.0 build that we did at one point. I don't think we're gonna spend much more money. I'm not gonna promise you guys that. I'm not gonna make it about the money at all. At the end, we can do like a sum and see what we ended up spending, but I just feel like it won't be as much as I once thought it would be. And we're gonna make this car, dude, the ultimate EG Civic build. Like the one that we pictured we could have done years ago. We're gonna pull it off right now. And what's really cool is this is literally the first time Chris has been in this car since we moved home. I've taken him for like rips when we lived out west. You came out and I took you for drives and I showed you the car and whatever. Like he's been there. He was at the first ever dyno day when we eBay turboed the D series.
I made the dyno day. I was there when your valve cover was leaking, but no, like I can appreciate this thing. You know, it's probably the nicest lawnmower I've ever sat in. 100%. You know, I think like after working on the K20 build with you and learning to appreciate Hondas, I'm excited to do a little more with this thing than you already have. And that means cleaning it up, because that's what I do. I come in and I'm the cleanup crew, man. We get things looking dialed.
But it is cool. Like this car shares a lot of history with Emerson and with Brad. But what's really cool is of all the videos that Chris was ever a part of when we were out west, they wore this car. He literally came out west probably 3 times when we lived there. Every time he was a part of this car's like history. So he never really got to play with it too much, but he's experienced, like he just said, the Hondas. And the big boost K-swap has got him like, he's realized there's a lot more to them. Anyways, you want to show them all your favorite features that we got to get rid of on this thing or what?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, we're gonna start right here. I feel like this reminds me of like a hippo flapping his ears. It does. We gotta clean up these, not that there's anything wrong with them, but like,
okay, that one's not even bolted to the floor. The rear bolts out of that seat, they're not that bad. They're bad. They're bad, but they're not that bad.
But needless to say, it deserves a little more love than it has had in the last 2 years. It was once loved. Oh, I don't know if you already told them, but when we made the Christmas wrap video, we think that we overheated the thing and Robbie toasted the head gasket.
I know, okay. The reason that this is actually being sparked up right now is we spontaneously, out of nowhere, sold the entire engine and power plant, like the engine, transmission, the whole thing's sold
randomly.
Like really randomly. We weren't planning on it. It wasn't for sale. It just happened. It just randomly happened to one of you guys. We sold everything underneath this hood. So when we took it out to do the Christmas wrapping paper shoot, that was like the only time I've driven it since it's been in Ontario, and we've been here for like a year, and it even sat before we moved home. We've moved on, and the car just wasn't at the place where I wanted it to be like a finished quality forever build, so I just neglected it. And now it's at the point where it's dying.
I think the other thing too was when it was in its like prime budget form, it never had the appreciation that it really deserved then. And then time like moved on and this thing kind of like got left behind.
I think it'll be exciting, and like I said, we've really not been driving it because when we did the Christmas wrapping paper shoot and the fan blew up and then I made a video fixing it, it overheated, and when I was doing the water pump I actually noticed the head gasket was bad. Didn't say anything in that video because I didn't want to tell you guys that it was even more broken, and then you guys just seen it out here not getting fixed. So I noticed the head gasket was bad that day, and basically I was just like, we can't sell this car. We've debated selling it, but I want to sell it with the problems and whatever. And then one of you guys was like, yo, I'll take that engine. I don't care about the head gasket. I'm gonna replace it. So randomly, we have sparked the final phase earlier than I thought it was gonna happen. But needless to say, I'm super pumped because this is like the OG. So you guys know this is a Duraflex kit. This kit gave us a lot of problems when we installed it. Like this gapping is not right. And you guys remember I had to cut it and then fold it together and then re-fiberglass it to make it fit because like the whole body kit just didn't fit at all. We had to do the same thing on these little canard pieces, which this one actually ended up cracking where I had to do some Bondo work to it to shorten it because it was, again, too long. One of you guys sent us some clear lights, and obviously the clear lights didn't make it. You know, like the hood thing is dead, needs some love. These wipers, the paint's all coming off. This mirror is toast. Well, this is from me shipping it home though. They smoked it off something and said it wasn't them. This is honestly way too many gauges. We outgrew all these gauges. Somehow this wing mount has started to like rust. Like the powder coat basically flaked off and it just started rusting. So this whole thing needs to get like either replaced with a different wing from a different body kit that we're gonna maybe put on. I don't know. You guys know it needs 50/50 taillights. You guys have been bitching about that since day one. They want the candy canes. And we did it on the EK, and I feel like now we have to do it on this.
Yeah.
And once we get a new body kit, obviously we need to get this wrap off. We need to give this thing a quality paint job that it deserves. And like you guys know, if you guys have been watching the channel for any time, if I ever had a dream Honda, this is literally it. This was the one Civic that I ever looked at and thought like, dude, I like that. So make sure you guys have your notifications on. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram. Make sure you guys know what's going on, because as of tomorrow, this build starts, dude. We've been kind of all over the place lately trying to clean up loose ends on other builds. The EK is sort of wrapping itself up right now. We're just waiting on a couple things. We got to get bearings for our axles, to get the axles in, to get it on the dyno, to make some huge power. But once it's done on the dyno, we need something to focus on. So starting tomorrow, all our energy, all of it, is going straight into this. We are building this thing into the beast that it needs to be. So that's it. Get hyped. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I will catch you guys next time. Peace out. Stay committed. I have my best friend, and I have the ambition to do everything physically possible ourselves. Fuck off with the Sid.